Hello and welcome to part 6 of this Southwest Adventure series. A quick recap for those just joining in. I've flown my 1948 Ercoupe from Northern California to Marana in Arizona to meet up with Jessica Cox and her husband Patrick and my good friend Andrew. Jessica is the world's first licensed armless pilot and needed her aircraft ferried to Washington, D.C. for her 30th anniversary of the ADA celebrations. Andrew is ferrying aircraft in his time off from the airlines and offered to fly Jessica's Ercoupe to DC for her. Then he invited me to join him. However, due to aircraft performance and very high temperatures in the area, we decided to fly both Ercoupes individually, and I would turn around in the middle of the country so I could make it back in my planned week off work. Andrew will continue on to DC in Jessica's Ercoupe. In this episode, Andrew and I fly both Ercoupes east from Marana, Arizona into Deming, New Mexico. We start out at 5 a.m. at Marana with a quick debrief on our departure procedures.
Right, quick debrief.
Okay, getting ready to depart Marana. We're running about 5 minutes behind schedule, as we'd expect, or as seems to be our tradition. Beginning of morning civil twilight was 6 minutes ago, and so we're going to get a nice jump on the day. It's already 90 degrees.
Yeah.
So we're at the hangars here at Marana. We're going to head out. We're going to take a left. We'll go down Bravo Taxiway. We'll turn left on Alpha.
Okay.
We're going to cross 2-1, so we'll keep our eyes open there. But
all right.
It's pretty sleepy right now. And then we'll head down and we're going to set up for 1-2. So we'll get down there and get your run-ups done. Give me your normal thumbs up.
Yep.
We'll take off on the Unicom.
Okay.
And remember, it's 125.1 once we're airborne. So for the takeoff roll, if you maybe just want to hold short as I start
I was going to ask you about that, because we don't want to keep close together so we don't spend ages catching up, right?
Right. So what I would, if you want, we can take the runway together.
Okay.
Right. We'll pull up an echelon.
Yeah.
So actually, I'll go on slightly off center to the left. You can be on my right.
Okay.
I'll look at you. I'll roll. And all you want to do is let me get maybe 5 potatoes ahead of you. So you're not going to roll yet. Count. I'll start rolling.
Oh, I see. All right.
Let me get a little separation. That way, if anything happens...
A potato is a time, not a distance.
Exactly.
Okay.
That just gives you a little bit of reaction time if I have to reject the takeoff or something.
Right, and wake turbulence?
It's calm wind this morning. You're going to be offset from me, so you're going to have your own flight path. You don't have wind blowing my turbulence towards or away from you.
Okay.
So as long as you don't...
And I guess if I start feeling it, I can just move a bit more to the right, and I should be good.
Right, and as long as you stay offset from my path, it's not going to be a problem for you.
In theory, I should have a bit better climb, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
So we'll take off 2-1.
Yeah.
Remember, it's going to be a quick change. So once I'm airborne and I'm through about 1,000 feet, I'm going to look back and gauge where you are. And I'll come up on radio and
we can have a quick.
Confirm you're airborne.
It's not busy.
We'll push over to 125.1. We talked about the check-in with Tucson approach.
Right.
And
so you're gonna hopefully your transponder's good and you'll squawk.
Right.
And get the radar contact, and I'll just hang off of that.
We're looking for, we want to transition to Class C. That's the goal.
Yeah.
So, and then if possible, we'll see how they're doing. It'd be nice to keep flight following all the way over to Deming.
Right.
This is a well-traveled corridor, so keep your eyes on the, on your ADSB for traffic.
Yeah.
We'll
plan, outside.
Again, 5,500 initially.
Okay.
If we're getting a good tailwind and we get up to altitude quickly, then maybe we'll look at going up to 75. We'll see how the winds look.
Yep.
But the forecast should be we have a left quartering tailwind, maybe 8 knots, up at 55, 6,000.
So we should see 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's the goal. All right, let's do this.
All right.
Pre-flight checklists, run-ups, and then onto the end of the runway.
Oh, they're going to do a formation takeoff. Nope.
This was about a 1,400 foot takeoff roll here in the 90-degree heat, full fuel situation.
Into the sunrise.
So there we go, off the ground. Thank you, Patrick and Jessica, for the extra footage there. But what a great moment here, starting a new trip with a great friend along as well. Fantastic scenery and days of flying and adventures to look forward to. Also, thank you again to Jessica and Patrick for the great hospitality in Arizona. We were sent off with coffee and snacks for the day, and it certainly meant we had to forage less. I think the sunflower seeds lasted us the whole trip. As you can tell, I have no cockpit audio for this flight. I think the mic jack that hangs from the GoPro audio adapter pulled out slightly, and I had no way to know at the time, so I will be narrating this flight for you. A beautiful Arizona sunrise here as we climb out over Tucson. Unfortunately, you won't hear a fun conversation we had with the Tucson controller around this time, who was interested in our flight of 2 Ercoupes. Both machines were running well, no problems at this time. We were both relatively light, so able to take full tanks and enjoy good performance in the Arizona heat. Here we are over the Davis Monthan Air Force Base, something I had wanted to see for a while. A-10s, EC-130s and the famous boneyard of the 309th Aerospace Maintenance and Regeneration Group are all based here. You can still see a bunch of B-52s with their wings cut off, which I believe was done to satisfy the Soviet spy satellites at the end of the Cold War. This leg from Marana, Arizona to Deming, New Mexico was a 196-mile, just over 2-hour journey. Winds were calm and the basic route was following I-10 east over Tucson, past Benson, Wilcox and Lordsburg. Altitude was 5,500 until we were past Tucson, and then up to 7,500. Deming was at 4,400, so we had a decent height over the surrounding terrain. To our left, you can see the Ricon Mountains and the Saguaro National Park. Looking at ForeFlight on my iPad here, you can see our departure point at Marana and the southeast course over Tucson and through the Class C airspace, and the turn to the northeast as we pass Benson. You can just about see Andrew under the icon of my aircraft, showing November 26 Romeo right on top of me. No other traffic showing on the fish finder at this point. Looking back over Ricon Peak, so I got to practice a bit more formation flying with Andrew, which was fun. Here we are overflying the Texas Canyon rest stop on I-10. Passing the town of Dragoon, we had the Dragoon Mountains off to the south. The Cochise stronghold is located in these mountains, the resting place of the Apache chief and war leader who led an uprising against the US government between 1861 and 1872. The county is now named after him. As you can tell here, Jessica's Ercoupe has the E model elevator installed in her 415C model. This is the Apache generating station near Cochise in Arizona. A good view of 26 Romeo over the Wilcox Playa, Arizona. Twin granite peaks of the Dos Cabezas Mountains, 20 miles east of Wilcox. Very nice views as we flew through this range at 7,500 feet. This is the far east of Arizona, and we were to shortly cross into New Mexico. At this point, Andrew and I are flying over the Steens Pass, approaching Lordsburg, still following Interstate 10 east. Looking back on Steens Mountain. Here we are, just into New Mexico and looking at Grandmother Mountain, just north of the town of Gage, New Mexico. Okay, so here we are, coming up to the town of Deming, our destination for this leg. This will be my first landing in New Mexico. Downwind and turning onto base. Turning final here. And here we are on final, keeping about 70 miles an hour indicated, 500 feet per minute descent. I wasn't aiming for the numbers here, this was quite a long runway, so I was aiming for quite far down. We learned that Deming, the airport we are flying into here, has some interesting history, somewhat related to Andrew's U-2 career. It was a bomber training base in World War II, but the really interesting part to us was revealed by the U-2 memorabilia we saw in the airport terminal building. Back in 1916, the 1st Reconnaissance Squadron that Andrew belonged to was based just 20 miles south of Deming, in Columbus, New Mexico. From there, America's first operational air force operated Curtis Jennies against Mexico's Revolutionary General Pancho Villa, a far cry from the U-2s and T-38s that they currently operate. Well, thank you for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. In the next episode, we'll head through New Mexico and into Texas. See you soon.